We've arrived in Quebec and we are currently, we got out of the turmoil, it was so crowded, and decided we would walk a little ways and then pick up an Uber to our B&B. It is freezing cold here too. And this is really early mid-October. We are sail away with Bruce and Eileen, a retired couple that loves to cruise. Come with us as we travel the seas and explore new sites and destinations. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
Rather than waiting through hundreds of people for an Uber and surge prices, we took a 15-minute walk to the main bus station in Quebec. There we took an Uber to our bed and breakfast in the old upper city.
Our B&B was originally built in 1888 by one of the founders for the Canadian Pacific Railroad for the Marquis de Bosseneau. It is ideally located on a quiet street and just steps away from restaurants, museums, and shopping. The building still features its original woodwork and stained glass and has preserved much of its 19th century character. We enjoyed meeting our hosts on multiple occasions and had a wonderful breakfast our second morning there. Breakfast was available, but was an additional charge. We certainly enjoyed the central location of this B&B, making it the perfect place to B&B in Old Quebec City.
The next morning, Eileen was a bit under the weather, and I went out to look at the city by myself. I walked towards the fort, but realized that we had really not packed for the frigid temperatures that descended upon Quebec in early October. As Eileen said, as we were walking away from the cruise ship, it was cold. And while we had sweaters and layers of clothing, we didn't have the heavier clothes that we really needed for the cold weather. So I did not go into the fort. But the weather was clear while the air was very crisp.
Quebec City was founded in 1608 and is North America's oldest walled city. The Old Town was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985 and is the most intact fortified town north of Mexico. It retains its colonial architecture. It is a walker's dream. It's compact, picturesque, and we loved its undeniable European charm.
Here's a view of the Quebec signature Chateau Frontenac from high atop the Citadel de Quebec. You can see the commanding view they had of the St. Lawrence River from both the fort and of the hotel. You can see in the distance a How America ship docked alongside the port in Quebec City. This is the port visited by cruise ships that do not embark or disembark at Quebec, but merely make a stop. There are two parts to Quebec City. The upper town, which is the genteel section, home to the Frontenac and government buildings, and the lower town, which was home to sailors, dock workers, and had a red light district. Until 1873, there was actually a gate to keep the riffraff in the lower town. Now the road to the lower town is filled with shops, and tourists travel easily between the two levels. We descended the Côte de Montagne to the Escalier Cassicou, or breakneck steps. Join us as we speed walk down the Côte de Montagne to show you a quick version of the shops and restaurants along this street. Breakneck steps were first constructed in 1635. They're given this name in the mid-19th century due to their steepness. They've been restored several times over the years, the most recent being in 1889. This restoration provided 2 interim landings instead of 1 continuous flight of steps. There are shops and restaurants lining these steps. During the day, most of the streets in the lower town are pedestrian-friendly and cars are banned. There are a few on the exterior part where cars are allowed, but usually you can walk without a care down the streets. At the base of the breakneck steps is Rue de la Petite Champagne. This is a street lined with shops and restaurants. We really did enjoy window shopping, souvenir shopping along here. It's a great area.
Also in the lower town is the Umbrella Alley. It is a beautiful area with the vibrant umbrellas overhead, and they provided much needed color on the dreary day we were there. The alley and surrounding streets are dotted with delightful restaurants that offer many opportunities for a satisfying meal.
We were in Quebec City getting towards mid-October, and there were several small parks already were decorated for either Halloween or just fall harvest decorations. We enjoyed looking at their scenery they had set up, and they had musicians out playing, and restaurants at this time were setting up their tables outdoors. We finished exploring the lower town and decided the most prudent way to get back to the upper town was to take the funicular, which is actually an enclosed elevator at this time as the 2 cars run independently of each other. The cost of the funicular is $5 payable in cash, either US dollars or Canadian dollars, but there's no charge cards accepted. As it was a busy time on the weekend, we did have to stand in line for a bit, but it wasn't too long before we were able to board our car. The length of the trip in the funicular is only 210 feet, but during that time it rises 194 feet from the lower town to the upper town. Here we go. In that we were in Canada and especially Quebec, we figured we'd better find some poutine for lunch. We discovered a restaurant called the Chic Shack where we had a poutine with beef braised in red beer, aged cheddar, cheese curds, horseradish allole, as well as home fries. It was delicious and filling enough for 2 of us. We were exploring the upper town when we found the city hall. Next to it was not only a public restroom down the inside that area ahead, which is at the corner of Rue de Jardin and Rue Saint-Anne. But also there were several additional Halloween decorations. These are themed after various Halloween-type movies, and the kids really seem to enjoy them.
Switching holidays, we discovered a Christmas shop, La Boutique de Noël. This is a two-story shop that had everything Christmas that you would want. It provided a magical and enchanting experience. It was amazing and quite busy on this day. We highly recommend a stop here if you're ever in the heart of Old Quebec. We hope you enjoyed this video. It is just a glimpse of what we saw and the many things that Old Quebec has to offer. If your cruise begins or ends in Quebec, be sure to consider staying a couple extra nights to enjoy this city. You won't regret it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.